Hello, welcome back to our channel. My name is Julie and I go by Mrs. Frugal Trash to Cash. With the help of my husband Justin, we are full-time resellers. Our main platform is eBay, but as you'll see in a minute, on days like today, Poshmark is coming in a great second place, which doesn't always happen. So in today's video, I'm going to pack the orders and show you what's sold. But while I'm doing that, I'm also going to answer a bunch of questions. I opened up my DMs on Instagram and I put out a community post on YouTube asking if anyone had any questions for me. And I think I got 9 questions total. So I'm going to incorporate those in the video and answer them while I'm packing. So first item to sell on Poshmark was this brand new in the package box of Nike men's boxer briefs. Justin found them at the bins. We paid 95 cents for them. They sold for an offer of $22. I think it might have had discounted shipping on Posh, and it sold for $14.63. So since it's a pretty sturdy item, I'm just going to put it in a padded flat right envelope. All right, so the first question I want to go over kind of made me chuckle because I don't think it's the answer people would expect. The question was, can you be successful without making videos and having a YouTube channel? My answer is a definite yes. Honestly, I was more successful reselling before I had the channel because I had a lot more time to resell. Making videos is very time consuming and it just cuts into the time you have to list and source. So I know I'm reading over my answer to see if I forgot anything. I know that there is caveats to this, those that have a huge audience that buy tons of stuff from them. But I mean, that's not me. I have like, what, 2,800 followers. And I mean, I do occasionally get viewer sales. Actually, I just had someone buy a couple shirts off of me from my last video. Judy, thank you very much. But I mean, it is very few and far in between. I probably have had maybe like 10 viewer sales like over the time that I've done YouTube. So for me personally, it does not really boost my business. It actually deters from my business. So if you're not reselling purely because you think you don't have a following, that doesn't matter, and get busy reselling. All right, first item packaged up. All right, second item on Poshmark was a clearance item. I had talked about in my last video that I'm clearing out a bunch of items in my eBay store. I can show you how the clearing out is going later on in the video, but I've sold a bunch. Well, this shirt was on Poshmark and I had it down, I think only $6 on eBay. And just by chance, someone sent me an offer on Poshmark for $10 and I jumped on it. So we paid 99 cents for it. It was a Mason and Bell, just top. I can throw a picture on the screen what it looked like. And we ended up making a $6.06 profit, and I am glad to have it out of here. The next thing that's sold are these Healing Sole. They're like orthopedic flip-flops. Like, see how the toe is raised on them? Very interesting. They were in excellent condition. Justin also found those at the bins. He paid $1.30. Someone sent me an offer on Poshmark for $24, and we made a $17.90 profit on them. All right, the next question while I'm wrapping these shoes is, do I ever think about quitting reselling? And for me, that answer is a hard no. I love reselling. I love the hunt. I love the independence it gives me. I love everything about it. Now, if it's something, this person was saying they're contemplating quitting. Like, if it's something that is not bringing you joy, then by all means, quit and find something that does. I've done jobs in my life that did not bring me joy. It's not fun, but I just happen to be someone that absolutely loves this. So I have never contemplated quitting. We have contemplated a couple times of Justin getting like a part-time job or, you know, when it's slower, because he is someone that actually doesn't mind working for someone else. But I am very independent, very strong-willed, and I absolutely love being my own boss, and this is the perfect job for me. But that is just my personal choice. All right, up next we have a 3-piece bundle. So someone put these 3 items in their cart, and I can't remember what the regular price was, but I sent them an offer of $45. We paid $262 for these 3 items, and we ended up making whatever $36 minus $262 is profit. I forgot to do the math, but this one is a Karen Scott new with tags. This one is a Talbots, and this one is a Lauren Ralph Lauren. I'm just going to put my thank you sticker on it. Trying to think. I mean, they're so thin, they could just probably still go in an envelope. Oh, let me put the label on it first. I mean, I could stick it in a box, but then I'd have to walk to over there to get a box. So these fit perfectly in a bag, as you can see. So I'm going with it. All right. Oh, next is a harder item to pack. Is this adorable? My neighbor gave it to me. She didn't want any more to resell. Musical Boyd's Bear. I've had it in my store forever. And someone sent me a $16 offer on Poshmark. And I was like, I'm taking it. Like, I have no money into it. And I want this gone. So we made $10.78 profit. I don't know if I said that or not. All right. All right. Next, someone asked, how has eBay changed in the last few years? So, I mean, that was an interesting question. I mean, obviously, I've only been reselling for less than 3.5 years. So I didn't sell except my own stuff before the pandemic and even like during the height of the pandemic. So I missed out on all of that. So I really don't have anything to compare to. But how it's changed since I started reselling is you have to definitely, in my opinion only, promote way higher originally. When I first started, I didn't promote at all. Then I heard people talking about promoting, so I started promoting to 1%, sometimes 2%. And my sales completely shot up. Like, it was a huge difference. And I was like, whoa, there is something to this promoting thing. Fast forward now. So that was probably about 3 years ago. And I promote everything. Justin does weights to 3%, and I do everything of my stuff to 5%. And that's now considered low by eBay standards. So that's one big thing that has changed. So what I feel has changed in the last 8 months to a year is I feel like people don't have as much of a disposable income. Everybody's looking for deals more, like in my store anyway. People had more, child tax credits, stimulus checks, etc. when I first started reselling, and now I just notice way more like super low ball offers. Like even now when I'm running the 65% off sale, it's like people can't just buy the stuff for 60% off. They're, still sending me offers of just even like $1 or 50 cents less than what I asked. Like it's like it would kill someone to pay full price for something. So those are the two big reasons or big changes I've noticed. All right, so as you can see, since this was a breakable item, I double boxed it and just floated it in paper. All right, and the last item to sell, I'll put a picture of it up. Gorgeous Calvin Klein new with tags dress that I picked up on 99-cent day. Someone sent me an offer for $35 on Poshmark, and it's been listed for a while, so I accepted it, and we made a $27.01 profit. All right, the next question came from Instagram, and someone asked, did I wait until all my big expenses like my mortgage was paid off before I went full-time reselling? If you've been here for a while, I've discussed it in at least two videos that like our background, but I'll try to give an abbreviated version for those that have already heard it before. My husband and I both worked full-time as bakers. I quit my job in 2019 just because I was becoming very stressed. Before we quit our jobs, we paid off all of our debt that was all that we had was car loan. We have never carried a credit card balance in our entire marriage, but we had 2 car loans. So we paid our car loans off, opened IRAs, and was starting, to get our adult life set up, shall we say. Then at the beginning of the pandemic, my husband lost his job of 16 years. So obviously the paying off of the mortgage kind of got put on the back burner. We were just in survival mode. We went from not being resellers at all to deciding to become full-time resellers. First, it was just me. And then it became apparent that the job market was just not going to do well in the food field. So Justin joined me. And we started selling full-time right out of the gate, which is not something I recommend doing, but we had substantial amount of money in savings. So we still do not have our mortgage paid off. It has about a $30,000 balance on it right now. So we're getting there. But that was our backstory on how we started reselling and where our finances are. But yes, I 100% recommend, I just talked about my last video, do not start full-time reselling unless I would say you have at least 6 months, preferably a year in savings, because you never know what's going to happen. Just this year, we spent $20,000 on new roof, gutters, windows. And my last video, I talked all about that we had like $2,000 worth of car repairs in a week. Things happen and you need to be prepared for it. All right, we'll be moving on to eBay in a minute. I'll answer another question. Someone on Instagram wanted to know to who my IRA was through and if I had any tips. We opened our IRAs through Vanguard, completely all online. I did a lot of researching while we were becoming debt free. I watched, I don't even know if it's still around. There was a podcast called Pour, P-O-U-R, not Poor, P-O-O-R. And they always talked about like the total stock market through Vanguard. It's called VTSAX funds, which was like you were buying just minuscule pieces of pretty much the whole market. So it just, leveled out more evenly. It was, yes, less risky, I guess is the word. So that's what we ended up doing. I was so intimidated by it. I opened the account through Vanguard and I couldn't figure out how to purchase the actual stock. So I ended up calling and oh my gosh, were they nice. I mean, I got this adorable Southern woman that like talked me through all of it. So I highly recommend Vanguard. I mean, we've now had it since 2019. Our IRAs are set up automatically, so it takes $500 out a month for Justin and $500 for me out of like our checking account to automatically invest, because you're allowed to do up to $6,000 a year. So I am not a professional. This is not professional advice, but we go through Vanguard and I'm very happy with them. All right, so let's see. The first thing that's sold on eBay were just 2 small 2.5 weight plates. Justin accepted a $15 offer. I'll put the profit on the screen because with eBay, I can't figure the profit out beforehand until I figure out the shipping. This is a Loft Dress. It was a new with tags Loft Dress. We have had it for a long time. It was in my sale. Sold for $7.65 and we paid 99 cents for it. And as I said, you'll see the profit on the screen. Up next is another major clearance item. They were called Pure Vintage Shorts. I don't know, 99-cent day grab, sold for $6.30. Obviously, we will not pick this brand up again. All right, let's dive into the next question. Someone asked, what is your favorite brand of clothing to resell? And honestly, this is a hard question. Not really a brands person myself. I mean, a brand that I see in the bins that I get super excited about because we don't find it very often in this area is Patagonia. Patagonia sells well, sells fast, you know, and for a decent amount of money. Same with Ariat Fire Resistant. So it says Ariat FR. I found a pair of jeans and a shirt like 2 weeks ago, and they sold within a couple days each for like $40 a piece. So I really like those. Easy to find items, obviously. Like I find Chicos everywhere I go, and it sells decently for me. I mean, Chicos is like, I would say 75% of it sells, you know, for a good price. And you'll see I have one thing on clearance today, and then some of it gets clearanced out. I still make a profit on it, but it's not as good as I had hoped. And I just love to find unique items, you know, that the brand doesn't even really matter. It just looks odd, and you're like, somebody out there is going to like that. All right, this was a Catherine's like tunic top kind of boho, sold for $17, and it was picked up on 99-cent day. Someone asked me a question that really only pertains if you're from this area. They asked me, sorry, walking off camera, which bins location I prefer. In Pittsburgh, we have 2 bins locations. We used to have 3. We had one in Monroeville, which was my absolute favorite, and they closed it. It was pretty much opened just during the pandemic when they had like an overflow of items. So they closed it like 2 years after they opened it. That was my favorite. So then we have one in North Versailles and one in Heidelberg. And I don't have a favorite per se. It completely depends on my mood. Heidelberg changes way slower. It's way smaller, but it's a very chill environment. And there's even like places where you can sit. North for Sales changes a lot, so you have more opportunity to get stuff, but it is very fast paced. It's crowded. It's loud. So it really just depends on what mood I'm in. All right, next thing, is a Steelers ice bucket. I will pack this up in a minute because I have to find a box for it, but I'll just show it to you. I got this from my neighbor for free, and it sold for $22.99. These Justin picked up recently. Hokas. Some Hokas sell for so much money. This wasn't as a desirable style, and I would probably say color too. He actually soaked them in OxyClean, and they came so clean. We listed them a little bit higher and got tons of lowball offers. We paid $1.69, and I accepted an offer for $27.50. All right, this Nike hooded Just Do It sweatshirt, also a 99-cent day find, also in my clearance sale. You know, it's a trend here. Clearance items are selling. Sold for $6. You'll see the profit on the screen. This next shirt, Fabrio is the brand. So cute. Has like embroidered butterflies on it and rhinestones. They sent me an offer of $18. We paid 99 cents, so I accepted. All right, question number 7. Someone asked me, who on YouTube am I most inspired by in the reselling community? And at first I was like, interesting question. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Absolutely, Mel from Back from Burnout is her channel. If you don't watch her, she's so inspiring. So she's in Australia, so I could just listen to her talk all day long. She's a bookseller only, but when I first started watching her ages ago, she was a clothing seller. She has had so many changes in her life in the last year. She got divorced. She moved all of her, like her whole business to a warehouse. And she has just persevered. In the last few months, she was challenging herself to list her entire death pile, and she did, and her business is just thriving. I actually got to meet her at FlipCon. She is so nice. We had a long conversation. I mean, she was so sweet that I had messaged her beforehand, and she memorized my face and came and sought me out, which was just so heartwarming. She was the first reseller I ever started watching, right when I first started dabbling in it. So she was just amazing, and I highly recommend watching her channel. She's very motivating. All right, then this is the Chicos piece I was talking about. It was like a poncho sweater. We bought it at the bins. We paid $1.79, which is expensive because it was heavy. Ended up only selling for $77 in the sale. So this is definitely a Chicos piece that I would pass on again if I saw. And then Justin sold two 25-pound weight plates for $52. Okay, before I stop and pack the ice bucket, someone said that they are a full-time nurse and reselling is their side hustle. And they wanted to know the best way to maintain a bookkeeping system. Personally, I feel like no matter if you're full-time, if it's a side hustle, you want to maximize as many, like deductions and write-offs that you are legally allowed to do, mileage, just the cleaning products you use, packaging, everything. And the best way to keep track of that all is have a separate bank account, have a separate credit card if you want to use a credit card for it, and definitely invest in some reselling like software. I would say everybody raves about my reseller Genie. I would use it, but I already had, I use QuickBooks for self-employed, which I have to hand enter, like it doesn't hook with eBay, like it doesn't integrate with it, so I have to hand enter the stuff in bulk once a month. But I have my system all lined up, but I don't recommend it for other people. But I think something like my reseller Genie would be perfect for a business that either is huge or is very, very small, because it was invented by resellers. And from what I've heard, it's wonderful. I'm not getting a paid commission to say this, but that would be my recommendation. I wanted to give you an update on the clearance shelf. So we have already cleared out one full box and then part of a second box. So let's hope these items keep selling and we can clear this shelf out. All right, before we go over the sales totals for the day, I have one final question to answer. And it was from Instagram, from an account I follow called A Frugal Nomadic. She's a cool lady that loves to get good deals on items. So if you're on Instagram, I highly recommend you follow her. She's also a reseller. She asked, how do we see our business model evolving over the next 5 years? And that is a hard question for me based on the fact that 5 years ago, I would have never dreamed that this is where my life was going to be right now. So many curveballs were thrown at us professionally, personally. So it has just like taught me that you can plan all you want and you have no idea what life is going to throw at you. So I am not a huge planner. It seems like when I do try to plan things, you know, you've heard the expression, what is it? Make plans, watch God laugh, something like that. But in the ideal world, 5 years from now, I will be 50. Seriously. Justin will be almost 55. And I would love to have an RV and us travel, go on sourcing trips. Who knows? Even like sell from our RV. I mean, who knows what reselling will be like then? We could be big whatnot sellers or whatever the new platform is and just source stuff and sell it live and pack it up. I have no idea where we'll be. Our daughter will be like in her mid 20s at that point, and hopefully we'll be independent and we will have options in our life to do what we want. Or maybe we'll be here and we'll just be selling. I don't know. But I look forward to seeing where it's going to go. But I just know that life is just going to take me where it takes me. I can't really do much about it. All right. Let's go over the eBay total for today, or I guess both totals. Total profits were $235.63. $110 pretty much of that was Poshmark. So it's a rare day where Poshmark and eBay like profits are very similar, but it was today, which is why I cross list. I use Flyp, which is a free Chrome extension to cross list, to share. You can send bulk offers with it. You can't use it on your phone because it's a Chrome extension, but it's free. I think I have like a referral code for it. I'll put it in the description below. I think I get like a $10 Amazon gift card if people use it. So if you're signing up for Flyp, I would appreciate it. If you use my code, but you don't have to. But yeah, it's just, it does the job. The only thing it doesn't do that the paying ones do, in my opinion, is it does not remove the item if it sells for you, but it's not that hard to remove the item. Something sells on Poshmark, I just immediately go over and remove it from eBay. I tend to be a little more lax if something sells on eBay. It's more like once a day I'll go and remove everything that's sold for eBay, like over the last 24 hours from Poshmark, because if you cancel an order on Poshmark, you don't really get any repercussions for it. Um, I try not to do it. It happens every once in a while that I forgot to delete something, but for the most part, I get it deleted in plenty of time. Um, so yeah, if you're looking for free cross-listing software, Flyp is it. I know there's ones like List Perfectly and Vendoo that you can pay for. Everybody's been pushing Vendoo lately. When I open my Instagram feed, it is like literally everybody making ads for Vendoo, because I'm guessing they're probably giving some kind of like kickback to their users for bringing in new people, but I am just way too cheap to pay for it. That's what it boils down to. All right. Well, if you have any other questions for me, feel free to put them in the comments below. Or if you want to add any suggestions to the questions I answer, I would love to hear how you guys run your business. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Editing, Julie coming at you again. I just got one more question submitted, and I wanted to make sure I answered it. She asked me, is all the hard work really worth it? Yes. For me, it is so worth it. I get to work when I want to, and when I need to take off, I can. When my sister found out she had cancer, I went to North Carolina. When I don't feel good, I rest. When my child needs me, I'm there for her. Reselling gives me so much freedom. Yes, there are pain in the butt customers at times. And yes, it's slow at times. But overall, the greatness it has brought to my life is just so worth it. I used to work my butt off, destroyed my body that I have osteoarthritis in my hands and toes for somebody else to make a good portion of the money. Now, if I want to kill myself, I'm killing myself for me. So yes, I absolutely feel like all the hard work is worth it. Take care.